Hello everybody, I'm Amber. Welcome to my channel. Today I am sharing with you a 38-week pregnancy slash life update. I'm actually currently 39 weeks, but just barely, so we're just going to make this all about 38 weeks. So I normally start these with the baby's development, and I use two apps normally, but I forgot to take a screenshot of those apps. So I'm just gonna use what to expect online. So it says at 38 weeks, your baby is the size of a mini melon. At 38 weeks pregnant, all systems are almost go. As you prepare for baby's ETA, they're getting ready to big time and continues to shed vernix and lanugo. Your baby is also swallowing amniotic fluid, some of which winds up in the intestines where, along with other shed cells, bile, and waste products, will turn into your baby's first bowel movement and perhaps first diaper change. The lungs are still maturing and producing more and more surfactant, a substance that prevents the air sacs in the lungs from sticking to each other once they start to breathe. Most other changes this week are small but important. They're continuing to add fat and fine-tune their brain and nervous system. That way they can deal with all the stimulation that awaits them once they make their entrance into the world. So that is what is going on with baby. As for me, I don't have a ton of new symptoms since my last update. I do think that I maybe have varicose veins behind my knees, or at least behind my left knee. You can't really see them, but I have been having a bruised type feeling in my left knee, behind my left knee. And so I told my midwife, and she was saying, or one of my midwives, and she was saying that maybe I do have a varicose vein and it's just like really, really deep, and so we can't see it because there's not a bruise there. So that is one symptom. This isn't really a symptom, and I don't think I shared this in my last video, but the last couple of times that I've gone to see my midwife, she has said that the baby is really, really low. And the last prenatal appointment that I had specifically, her exact words were, "My word, baby is low." So that, I guess, is a good sign. And she also was feeling around. She does check the position of the baby, and she was saying that it feels like baby is really tiny. And then last week I had a chiropractor appointment as well, and the chiropractor also said that they feel like baby is tiny, and that's without me prompting them. Like, I didn't say anything or ask them how big they speculate the baby is. So people are thinking small baby. They are definitely noticing that baby's really low. The only other thing that's really been going on, and this is like a funny one, is that Alex seems to be nesting. And it's funny because I've mentioned this in several other videos where throughout this pregnancy, he seems like he is getting the sympathy symptoms that some men experience. He experienced nausea and a little bit of weight gain and just things like that. But now I feel like he's nesting worse than me. And I never really felt like I was nesting, but he has been running around cleaning things like crazy, things that do not need to be cleaned. They are clean, but he's cleaning things, he's fixing things. And I've told him, you need to maybe calm down a little bit. Like, you can just sit down and relax. And he seems to be struggling with that. So I don't know if he's experiencing sympathy nesting or if we're just in that waiting period where the baby could come anytime, and maybe he's feeling anxious and just feels the need to occupy himself. But that's a funny thing that's been going on. So in other news, a unfortunate life update that I have is that I got laid off from my job last week. So that was extremely stressful. And that was when I was 38 weeks pregnant that I got laid off. And I wanted to just bring it up on here briefly. This video is not about being laid off. That's just a quick life update. It just happens to coincide with me being pregnant and being at a place where I'm about to give birth. But I did, of course, a Google search when I felt like it was going to happen. I wasn't 100% sure that I was going to be laid off, but I knew that there was a good chance that I was going to be. So I did a quick Google search, and I could not believe how many articles came up about women coming forward and telling their stories about either getting laid off while they were pregnant or about to give birth or already like on maternity leave. And so I knew that if there were that many women coming forward, there are probably tons of women that are going through this or have gone through it and just haven't said anything, which I totally understand because it's overwhelming, it's stressful, it's emotional, it's just all kinds of things, and it's a horrible timing. And I definitely was asking myself for a minute there, why me? Why is this happening to me? I'm pretty confident that I was not laid off because of being pregnant. I know that with the company that I was with, they are doing a second round of layoffs, and a lot of people are probably going to get laid off. And I was just one of the first ones, and it definitely, well, I can't say definitely, but I'm pretty positive that it was just because of business, business reasons, business decisions. There's no hard feelings. They were really kind to me and didn't completely like screw me over or anything like that. So I have zero animosity, but I know that that's not the case for everyone, because some women could get laid off and get no severance or nothing, just to come into work one day and be told, unfortunately, we're gonna have to let you go, best of luck. And it's one of those things where you think it should be illegal if you're at a certain phase in your pregnancy or if you're on maternity leave, but it's not illegal as long as the employer can prove that it was for legitimate business reasons and not because you're pregnant. So if you are going through this or have gone through this, then you are not alone. And if you really do feel like you got laid off because of being pregnant, you do have rights. And it's unfortunate also because I think a lot of employers, if they do lay you off because you're pregnant, they know that most people aren't going to go get an attorney, or most people are going to be focused more on getting another job and not necessarily looking up what can be done. But you do have rights. Of course, hiring an attorney is one option. That's an expensive option, or it could be, but you also could look into filing a complaint with the EEOC, and I'll put a link down below. Please keep in mind, this is not legal advice or anything of the sort. This is just based on my experience and what I've learned from doing my own research and from talking to a couple of different people. So you can look into filing a complaint with the EEOC. You don't need an attorney for that. From my understanding, it's free, and there will be an investigation that would be done with, between you, the investigator, and your former employer. And I think, unfortunately, it's still pretty rare for them to actually get in trouble, but at least that's an option. And at least if you do feel like you were discriminated against, you can at least look into getting some type of resolution. So I'm just trying to enjoy this time before the baby comes, and then enjoy the time immediately after the baby comes. There is some kind of peace knowing, for me at least, that at least right now there's really no point in looking for a job, because I don't think most people are going to hire someone who could give birth any day now. So Alex still has his job, we still have income, we're okay. But if you are in a similar position, my heart really goes out to you, and I hope that there is some sort of resolution for you going forward. Otherwise, I thought that I would just give you a few of the ways that I am preparing for labor, because again, I am in that it could happen any day now. phase. So the first thing that I've been doing is eating dates. And I should say that nothing that I'm doing is really extreme, because my midwives have made it very clear that if you want to do some things to kind of feel like you are, I guess, doing something, if you're someone that likes to feel a little bit of control, then these things might help give you that, and they could help with labor, or they could help get labor going, but there's not a lot of research that shows that they for sure will help. So I'm not going extreme with anything, but anyway, the first thing is eating dates. I'm not eating 6 dates a day because I like dates, but that is a lot of dates. That's a lot of sugar. So I have been purchasing Lara bars, which I've loved those for years, but they're a really clean snack bar. The first ingredient is dates. So I've been having one of those a day, and then if I want to have a couple extra dates, then I'll split a date in half and put peanut butter or almond butter on it, and that's really good. So I've been having dates. I've also been drinking raspberry leaf and nettle tea. Those are supposed to help with your cervix ripening, and I think the nettle leaf tea is supposed to help with hemorrhaging, like it's supposed to help you not hemorrhage or something after you give birth. I don't know. I actually don't know a ton about the nettle leaf or the nettle tea, but it's a blend, the tea that I bought. It's just called Healthy Pregnancy by Traditional Medicinals. I'll link that down below as well. And I've heard people say good things about both of those herbs, so I figured, what the heck? Again, though, I'm not going crazy. I'm only drinking 1, maybe 2 cups a day if I'm really feeling it. I actually really like this tea, so I don't want to ruin it. I don't want to not like it because I drank so much of it. So again, 1 or 2 cups a day. Hopefully it helps, but if not, then that's okay too. Another thing that I've tried is an evening primrose oil suppository. So you just get evening primrose oil that's meant to be taken orally. I know at a certain point you can take it orally and do the suppository. Check with your provider if that's something that you want to do as far as when you're supposed to start doing that. I'm not taking it orally. I only did the suppository. So you just, with a sterile needle, you just poke the capsule and just, so that's what you do. And then you just want to make sure that you're wearing underwear that are like a little bit thicker, or a panty liner before you go to bed. You're supposed to do it at night so that the oil goes to your cervix area, and it's supposed to help soften and ripen your cervix. I have no idea if that actually works or not, and I don't know if I'm going to continue doing it because of my last experience, but that is something that I've tried a few times, and we will see. The last thing that I am doing is perineal massage. If you don't know what that is, then you should just Google it and you will learn everything you need to know pretty quickly. But it's something that you can do, or I think even better, your partner can help you do it. I would really recommend having your partner help you if that's something that you want to try. You're essentially just trying to gently stretch and massage your perineum, which is, I think, the most common area that tends to tear during childbirth. So again, if your partner is willing to help you, I would really recommend having them do that, because it is supposed to be a little bit uncomfortable. Like, it, even though it's called perineal massage, it's not really gonna feel like a massage. It's supposed to sting a little bit, and it's supposed to be a little bit uncomfortable. So I feel like it's easier to focus on relaxing and breathing through the discomfort if you're not the one causing the discomfort, if that makes sense. If your partner is doing it for you, then you can tell them, okay, that's the point where I'm really feeling a burn, or that's the point where I'm really feeling some sort of discomfort, and then you can just lay back and focus on, like I said, just trying to breathe and relax through the discomfort. But it's kind of weird, like if you're the one doing it to yourself, then I don't feel like it's going to be as effective, because again, you're doing it to you while you're trying to relax and breathe through it. So I don't know. If you're able to, I would really try to convince your partner to help you with that. So that's the only other thing I've really been doing. Otherwise, I'm trying to just relax, take it easy, enjoy these last few days or weeks of it being just Alex and I, and we'll see what happens. So that is really all I've got. I'll go ahead and do a belly shot. What the heck? All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, then please give it a thumbs up. Please don't forget to subscribe. Your support means everything, and I will see you in the next one, which could be a birth story. Who knows? It's just so surreal. Okay, that's all I have. Bye.